Hey, welcome back to Tech Jungle. In this video, we're taking a look at the Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. Now, what I wanted to do in this video is go over some of its features and functions that maybe you newer users to the Galaxy Watch lineup are not familiar with, and maybe activate some settings right out of the box that aren't activated so you can get this watch up and running the way you want it. For my experienced users out there, you may know most of these tips and tricks. If you know additional ones, please let us know in the comment section below so we can all be well versed in the Galaxy Watch 3. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So with the buttons facing the right hand side, the top button is your back key. The bottom button is your home key. You also have this rotating bezel which goes left and right, up and down depending on which application you're in. You have the touch screen where you can swipe left and right, up and down. You can pinch to zoom, press to hold, also depending on which application you're in. And then additionally, you also have access to Bixby with voice input. And that's good if you're busy cooking and you don't have access to touch the watch and activate a control or a setting. You can just use your voice command and set up something directly into the watch. Now, when you initially set up the watch, it's not going to be activated, so we have to go into the home screen, go into our app drawer, so that's over here, and then we're going to go into Bixby, which is down here. Click on that. I already set mine up. Now you will have an account and microphone permissions that you need to go ahead and just click OK to, and then once you do, you will be greeted with this screen here. Now, press these three dots on the right just to make sure that the voice wake up is turned on. And it should be initially. And now you can say, Bixby, set a reminder for 8 p.m. to walk the dog.
Reminder saved.
And there you go. Additionally, you also have this home button that acts as an application launcher. And the way you activate that is by double pressing it. And that's also not activated when you initially set up the watch. So we're going to go into our settings, scroll down to advanced, press on home key, press on double press, and then here you have a slew of different applications and settings that you can quickly get to by double pressing that watch. So I'm going to click on large watch face, and when you're back on your watch face itself, you can double tap and it'll bring up this large watch face. And then you also have an option by long pressing the home button, and you can either activate Bixby or you can turn off the watch. So let's just check that out real quick. Go to home key, scroll down now, the press and hold. You can either wake up Bixby or have the power off menu. Additionally, you do have access to some quick toggles, and the way you access that is by swiping down from the top. And here you have a bunch of quick toggles that you can get to nice and quickly just by swiping down from the top. And you can edit these by either long pressing on one of these little widgets here, and then you can move these around or get rid of them altogether. You can add more, and you have a bunch of different toggles here. Another way you can get to this edit mode here is by going into the Settings app, going into Advanced, and then scroll all the way to the bottom and go to your Edit Quick panel. And now here you can do pretty much the same thing this way. You can also edit the Quick panel by going into your phone. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to bring in my iPhone, which is what I have paired with it right now. Go into the Galaxy Watch app, and then we're going to go to Advanced, scroll all the way down, and here's your quick settings right here. And so what I like about using it on the phone is that you can organize these quickly without having to fumble around with the watch itself. So I can, take my brightness up and put it to the first page, and when you hit done and we go back to the watch, those particular toggles will be added to that particular page that you moved it to. Another setting that's not activated on the watch itself is daily briefing, and the way you get to that is we're going to go to Settings, go to Advanced, we're going to scroll all the way down to daily briefing, click on that. Make sure this toggle is on. And here you can set it up to 2 different times. You can have one in the morning and one in the evening. And so we can check this out by going to 11. Let's do 11:59 a.m. Set one for the evening. Now that it's saved, we'll wait for that to come on in a minute and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is how your daily briefing looks when it pops up on your watch. And here you can get a summary of your reminders or something that's on your calendar. And then you can scroll down and see the weather for the day in your area. See today's schedule, battery percentage, and whatnot. So it's a good way to just get an overall quick briefing of your watch and any reminders or the weather pattern that's going on for that particular day. Another setting that's not activated right out of the box is the location, which drains your battery, but it is good to have if you're going out for a run and you want the GPS to locate you, especially if you don't want to bring your phone. So the way you activate that on the watch is you're going to go into settings. We're going to scroll down all the way to location. You want to make sure that that off button is toggled on for location, and then you have different methods, so you can do GPS and wireless networks, which is probably going to be the most accurate. You also just have wireless networks and GPS alone, and then you click on permissions here and you can see all of the allowed permissions for your location tracking. Now initially I didn't see Samsung Health allowed, so I went ahead and just clicked on it. Allowed location, allowed sensors, and storage. That way you can directly feed my GPS location and everything to the Samsung Health app. Another helpful feature of the watch itself is the quick notifications. So if you scroll over to the left, you will see notifications that pop up on your wrist. And this is all stuff that feeds over from your phone or from the watch itself. Now you can swipe up to get rid of these individually, or you scroll all the way over to the left and you can clear all of them at once. Now, a good way to keep track of your health is by using the Samsung Health app that's on the watch, and also the Samsung Health that's in the App Store with either iOS or Android. I would suggest you download it onto your phone so you can have a really overall comprehensive view of your health goals and your daily activities. The way you access it on the watch is you go to your app drawer, you're going to go to Samsung Health here. And here it'll show how many calories you've burned throughout the day based on your activity, how many hours you've either moved around, and it pretty much is every hour. If you move around for a couple minutes, it'll log it as an hour that you've moved around. And then here you have your exercise goals. So if you want to set this to 30 minutes of cardio in the gym, you can do that, and it'll fill that ring up or that little loop up as soon as you've gone for 30 minutes. So you can customize these and set these for however long you want. I think right out of the box, the hours is 8. I like to move that to 12. The calories burned is 300. I like to move that to 600. And then it's 30 minutes in the gym or 30 minutes of exercise here. And I keep that sometimes. Sometimes I move it up to 45 minutes or an hour, depending on just how active I'm going to be for that particular week. If you scroll down, you'll see your steps, your exercise, sleep activity, heart rate, stress, blood oxygen, and then so on and so forth. And what's nice is if you pair this up with the health app itself on the phone, you can get an overall view of what you're doing throughout the day to really stay healthy and to stay in good shape. So for one tip I would suggest is if you're working out, we're going to click on this and you're going to see that there's a bunch of different types of workouts. So you have running, walking, cycling, all the way down the line to weight training, elliptical training. And if you're doing a bunch of these at one time, let's say you're going to do elliptical training and you're going to jump off and do some circuit training and then some weight machines, what I would suggest you do is just go ahead and click on other workout. Now you can hit the settings button here and see it's going to ask to create a profile, and you can set up all your information here. Let's just go ahead and do that real quickly. Profile is set up. And now you can customize the way your watch face looks. So you can have a target here. You can do a basic workout. You can do the duration. So if you click on that, you can say, okay, I'm going to do it for 36 minutes. And then your workout screen, you can change it to, you can have your music controller. You can have that on or off. Your target screen on or off. And then your screen one, you can have a layout of, three to six fields. Yeah. And then you can just add a bunch of different things like your heart rate, the calories burned, duration, your average heart rate, anything that you want that can track your health as you're working out. It's pretty good to have that. So I would suggest if you're doing multiple exercises through one workout, I would actually click on the other workout. That way you can just press this and then forget it. And then when you're done completely, you can go ahead and end your workout and you should be good to go. Okay, so let's talk about that health app that Samsung provides. And it's called Samsung Health, and you click on it. And here you're going to have a bunch of different things that you can look at here, from your activity level, if you're walking or running, your steps throughout the day. You can record your weight, your average heart rate, your food intake. And the food intake app is pretty good because you can go and click on breakfast. And then if you don't have anything on there, you can find something like tacos. Let's go and click on tacos. Let's say I had soft taco with beef, cheese, lettuce, tomato, sour cream. And I had 2 of them. And it's going to give you some nutritional data on that particular thing that you're eating. And it gives you your fats, carbs, proteins, which are all your macronutrients. And so it's a good way to just quickly add items that you've consumed throughout the day. And that'll give you a better overall view of your health throughout the day. You can also track your sleep, how much water you've consumed. So if you scroll down a little bit further, you can see that you have all of your exercises down here. And if you click on one, let's do lateral raises. You can change the duration. You can also change your burned calorie target, or just keep it as a basic workout. And you can actually start the exercise here as well. So again, using the Samsung Health app, using the Health app on the watch itself, it's just a good way to track your overall daily activities to stay healthy, which, we all need to stay healthy. It's always good to be fit or in shape, or at least striving to be. And with these holiday months coming up, we all know that staying in shape is pretty tough, but using the Samsung Health app and the watch itself, maybe we can strive to have some better health goals, even for the holiday season. Here's another tip that I like that not a lot of people know about, and that is the pre-installed watch faces. There are some that have the second-hand dial here, and it can make a ticking sound, which actually makes the watch feel more like an actual real watch. And the way you activate that is you go into settings. You're going to go into sounds of vibration. We're going to scroll all the way down to system sounds. You can do touch sounds here, but we want to go to ticking sounds, and we're going to turn this on, which I already have on. So you just toggle that on. Initially, it's going to be turned off. And so it's pretty cool because you do have a little ticking sound now on your second hand. It just makes it seem more like a realistic watch. Some other settings that you may not be familiar with are Goodnight mode and theater mode. So let's take a look at those. If we go into advanced and we scroll down to Goodnight mode, let's go ahead and go into this here. You can turn it on, and what it's going to do is if you press the help, it'll tell you exactly what it does when you go into that particular mode. So it's going to mute notifications. It's going to turn off always on, screen wake up, and system sounds. And with the Goodnight mode, you'll still get alarms. But in theater mode, all alarms will be muted. So if you're in a theater, you're in a dark environment at home, and you don't want the watch face to be on, all you do is you activate theater mode or Goodnight mode, and then you just put your hand over the watch. It'll turn off the watch screen, and then you won't get any type of alerts or alarms. If you're in theater mode, obviously if you're in Goodnight mode, you will get those alarms, but everything else will stay turned off, so it won't be a distraction. Another way to get quick access to those functions is if you go and you swipe down from the top here, you can add them to your quick access screen, and you have theater mode, which is represented by this symbol here, and you have Goodnight mode, which is represented by this symbol right there at the top, little moon there. Something else I like about this watch is that if you're playing music from your phone, you'll see this phone symbol up here. And if you click on that phone symbol, it'll change to your watch. And if you've downloaded music directly to the watch itself, now you can play music that has been downloaded and in the watch itself. And it's a little bit faster if you have the watch with the preloaded music on it. And here you have this Over the Horizon, which is a Samsung song, I guess. And if you click on it, and if you press on this little volume symbol here, you can change the volume quickly by using the rotary or by pressing the plus and minus here. So there you have it. Those are some tips and tricks that I use when I'm setting up my Galaxy Watch. This is the Galaxy Watch 3. I think it's an excellent watch that came out this year. And if you're interested in this one or maybe the Galaxy Active series, then take a look at those as well. This is Tech Jungle. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do have additional tips that you didn't see in this video, please comment below and let us know. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button. And I will see you on the next one. Y'all take care.